Okay, I got slightly distracted there. What am I looking for? Oh, okay, that. Sorry. Looking at my computer screen. There's an indicator and I didn't know what it was. And now I know, and that's all fine. I don't know how long this stream's going to go or if anyone's going to join it or any of those things. I feel a bit... So if I continue to feel a bit... I might not stay on the stream. I'm not sure if there's anyone here. Those are only little burps anyway, by my standards. Baby burps. El Guapo, thank you. I actually know what that means. Nice to have you on Home for the Elderly. We shall see how I go this evening. El Guapo means handsome. Nintendo Lunchbox, hello, hello. You went to No Kings protest, had a good time? Nice. Three amigos. El Guapo means handsome. The handsome one. Did I lose my little knife here? Geez, sometimes I do shit and I don't remember doing it. And I'm just like, what happened there? Oh, putting some orange peel in my drink just because I can. Madam Butterfly, hello to you. You went to the cinema solo and I wanted to go with you. What did you go to see today? I have not gone to the cinema in quite a while. Too much walking. Your legs are noodled. What are you doing? Oh, you saw Tron Arius. Was okay. Would have been better without fuckhead in it. Jared Leto. Instantly turned off if he's in something. Yep, barrage with people talking about it. I mean, I have an interest in seeing it. My suspicion is that, like you, I'd rate it about 3 out of 5. But I'm still interested in seeing it for the spectacle. He's acting so bad he feels like an AI sometimes. Yeah, I'll wait for it on Plex. Speaking of Plex, but this is classics. I did finish the film noir classic, The Third Man. I really liked it. It really holds up. Set in post-World War II Europe. And it's a mystery where a somewhat down on his luck American writer is invited by his friend to come over and visit. Yeah, and but then he gets there. Okay, slight spoiler, but this happens in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Oh, well, actually, look, I'll dial it back. There is a crime. He finds out, and he hears a couple versions of the story, but someone tells him there was a third man involved, and he's in trouble with and because the city's got. One part of it's controlled by Russia. It's not Berlin, by the way. I think it's Vienna. I should remember that. One part's controlled by Brits. Oh, and you added Defending Your Life. Neat. I'll have to watch that. I've just had so many people say how good it is. Well, yeah, it's something wrong. It's making me do gross burps. Yeah. So his whole thing is trying to find out what happened, and he's not like a great guy. Like he's a sort of down on his luck rider, drinks too much. Yeah, Orson Welles. It's a lot of people put it as one of the hype Orson Welles performances. So yeah, this guy is like obvious criminal types who want to do him harm. The cops, the military, who are probably not to be trusted. There's a femme fatale in there, and it's actually pretty good. Holds up, just even by modern standards, in black and white. And in that squarish 4:3 format. I don't think I'd give it 5. You look at its Rotten Tomatoes rating is basically 100%, 99% or something. Hey, Justin. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Just the stage. Although it's kind of fun, you can look at things and go, it's incredibly obvious that city behind him is a painted backdrop. It's an extremely good quality painted backdrop, but it's obviously a painted backdrop. And the car stuff shot in front of a screen, that's very old school. But is it the staging of it, the direction, the acting, the storyline? I think it all holds up. There was one bit in particular I liked with a cat. You gave Citizen Kane 3 out of 5. I have watched Citizen Kane, but not for a while. I think where Citizen Kane can be difficult to watch is it's like unpleasant characters. It was a daring film to make because he was mocking one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and it blew up in his face. But one review I remember reading of it saying a thing a lot of modern audiences don't get about Citizen Kane is it's essentially a special effects movie. Like there are some shots and set pieces that were just mind-blowingly difficult to do, and no one had done them before. It was like really groundbreaking stuff from Orson Welles, but we don't get the impact of that now because of how over-the-top movies have become. Nintendo Lunchbox, issue with Citizen Kane. No one was there to hear him say his last words. Everyone seemed to know what they were. Okay, again, yeah, there's the whole Rosebud thing. I thought one of the staff heard him say it. God, Justin. Yes, Albanese gonna go and kiss the ring of Trump. It'll be funny if Trump does something stupid. How will Albanese react if Trump does one of his stupid, insulting, demeaning things? Because Albanese won't get any points for grinning and eating shit. Oh, damn. I gotta remember to put this away. Dun, 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 maybe Trump won't say or do something stupid. Okay, emphatically agreeing he was totally alone. That seems like a weird mistake to make. Because, yes, like everyone knows his last word was rosebud. What does that mean? Let's have a G&T. As I put in the description for the video, like the title is, it is International Gin and Tonic Day. As I put in the body, I don't like gin and tonic. I don't like tonic is what I don't like. I could have a gin and soda. In fact, that's not a bad idea. Means he was dead the whole time. Absolutely loves a G&T. Nice. Citizen Kane alone when he said Rosebud. Okay, here's one point of view. The butler tells a reporter he heard Kane say Rosebud. I'm just looking for another. Let me see something. It's just one of these unsourced things in Google search result saying that okay, this is in Reddit movies. It's explicitly stated in the movie Kane's butler was in the room to hear him say. So this is the actual dialogue quote from the butler. I heard him say it that other time too. He just said Rosebud, then he dropped the glass ball and it broke on the floor. So that's actual dialogue from the movie of the butler saying he heard Rosebud. So and I was reading someone's appraisal of it. That scene of Kane dropping and saying Rosebud may be intended to be from the butler's point of view. So there is an actual line of dialogue in the movie where the butler explicitly says he heard Kane say Rosebud. No. You don't see everything. You're saying we see Kane die alone, but You don't get a 360-degree view, do you? No, the shot is Kane alone dying. And like I said, there's some conjecture the view we see may be intended to be the butler's point of view. But again, the butler has an explicit line of dialogue that says, I heard him say Rosebud. It's a line of dialogue in the movie. So, not seeing the butler in shot in no way declares that the butler could not have heard him see it. But like I said, just in the context of the movie, the butler explicitly says he heard Kane say Rosebud, and then he dropped the glass ball. Now you're clutching it. I don't know if you're joking, Home for the Elderly. If you're not joking, you're clutching at straws. Because the butler says he said Rosebud, then dropped the glass ball. No, he says both. He says he both said Rosebud and then dropped the glass ball. That is absolutely clutching at straws to say it's unreliable storytelling. You're free to interpretation, but that is a more extreme and unsupported and difficult to support interpretation than the butler was within range to see and hear Kane collapsing. But again, how could he possibly be lying? Because we do see Kane fall, say Rosebud, and drop the glass ball. And the butler said, I heard him say Rosebud, then he fell and dropped the glass ball. You're desperately trying to hang on to your point of view. So, I mean, was it just a lucky guess that the butler says he said Rosebud, then dropped the glass ball when we see and hear Kane say Rosebud and drop the glass ball? It's not actually supportable. Okay. Again, you don't get a he's not standing next to him. You don't get a 360-degree view. You don't know what is out of shot. You just don't. And like I said, some people conjecture that the point of view of Kane dying is actually the butler's point of view. That's conjecture. But saying you don't see the butler, that makes no sense. You do not get it. How does the butler know he said Rosebud, then dropped the glass ball? It is not possible. What you're literally, well, I can't see any other option than you're saying that was just a lucky guess on his part. No, I think you're just desperately trying to protect the concept that no one heard him say it. But there is an explicit line of dialogue in the movie where the butler heard him say it. And if you're saying the butler's not telling the truth, are you literally saying the butler took a lucky guess at what his last word was? The butler describes exactly how Kane died. Are you saying that was a lucky guess? Look, like I said, there's a lot in subjective about experience. There's a lot that's open to interpretation, um, particularly when there's a unique um, style of storytelling going on in the movie. Are you fast forwarding to where the butler says? Sorry, I was just looking at some more points online. So, but look, just try and be logical about it. We see Kane die, whether it's the butler's point of view or not. We see it. He says Rosebud. He drops the glass ball. The butler later says, "Yeah, he said Rosebud and then died and dropped the glass ball." Justin, it's not uncommon to study Citizen Kane. It's one of the most influential pieces of media of the 20th century. Justin, did you have a discussion about whether or not anyone witnessed him say Rosebud? Like, they didn't do anything obvious and have the butler or the nurse go over to the dead Kane and say, "Why did he say Rosebud? What does that mean?" But again, the butler explicitly states the exact thing that we saw happen. Safi, you saw Aries yesterday. Hopefully Literally saw it today. He gave it 3 out of 5. You're giving it 8 out of 10. No. What do you mean unreliable witnesses? Look, again, you seem to be trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, you seem to be trying to say the butler made a lucky guess because the butler describes exactly what we saw. So what is your you're saying unreliable witness, bloody blah, but he's not unreliable. He is 100% reliable. He describes exactly what happened. No, Suffer, it wasn't really humid today. It was not as extreme as they were suggesting it would be. I did not hear the horse race. I did go to the community Diwali celebration last night. You said there's only 5 people in your cinema. Dang, that doesn't speak well of how it's doing. But yeah, stop. Okay, I'm going to ask you to stop talking about unreliable narrators, their version of what happened, etc., etc. The butler states explicitly, accurately what we saw happen. What is your explanation for that? He doesn't say it vaguely. He doesn't get it kind of right. He states explicitly what happened, and it's what we saw happen. What is your explanation for that? So I had my normal Saturday, in as much as I could definitely feel I had been drinking alcohol the night before. It's not hungover, not terrible headache, sick, dying, or anything, but just being tired. I did have a nap in the afternoon, which really happened. And yes, Knives Out 3 is coming out soon. You notice the made for streaming service movies, the big budget ones, they give them a cinema run for a couple of weeks because that's the Academy rules to be considered for Academy Awards. The film has to run in cinemas. So, I think at least one cinema. I'm not sure if there's a minimum number of cinemas, but the film has to run in cinemas for a set amount of time. Before it's broadcast on TV or anything. Safa, was Knives Out 2 in cinema? I have no idea. I'm going to go with it's not something I care about. But I did see like advertising saying it was going to be in cinemas. And that is the bigger budget streaming movies do that. Not all of them. A lot of them do that because they want to be in contention for Academy Awards. Oh, I did see today, 28 Days Later was on Fox 2. I was flicking through and I watched most of it. It was a really low resolution print. It was quite weird. It's like it wasn't even in HD. It was very weird. And the surprise I got is, oh God, now I just blanked on his name. The A24 guy. Oh God, now I'm, Jesus, fuck. I've forgotten his freaking name. What on earth are you talking about, Safa? TV has to wait 4 years before they allow new movies. I have no idea what you're talking about there. You're going to stay on Windows 10. Well, good luck. The hackers will be targeting you. Alex Garland, that's his fucking name. Okay. So, Alex Garland wrote 28 Days Later. I didn't realize that. He's got more famous. He's had a couple of big films on A24 in the last few years. But he actually wrote the script for 28 Days Later. So, Home Field, you're saying free TV has to wait 4 years? I mean, I have not watched free to air commercial TV in forever, so I don't fucking know. But I thought, and okay, this will be colored because I've just been watching cable and streaming. And of course, stuff seems to get on cable and streaming within a couple of months to 6 months of when it was in the cinema. Well, yeah, home fidelity, whether it was the nurse who told the butler or whether the butler was just out of shot. You don't see it, you only see this much. But whatever reason, the butler could not possibly have just luckily guessed the exact way Kane died. Whether the nurse saw it and told him or whether he's out of shot, the trope that no one heard Kane say Rosebud is obviously not true. Well, he died spiritually and metaphorically alone because he only had staff who had no actual connection to him. And there was no one literally comforting him or like holding his hand or being right with him when he died. Yes. So metaphorically and meaningfully, he died alone. There was no one in his life in a meaningful way. You're absolutely right. That's what being set up. After all the greatness of his life, all his achievements and whatnot, he died alone in a very real sense. Okay, I win this round. So yes, I did have to look it up, but it is an unsustainable argument that no one heard him. Yeah, and the fact that Wells didn't do an incredibly obvious scene with either the nurse or the butler or something running up to Kane and going, "Oh my God, what? Oh, he's dead. What's Rosebud? His last word was Rosebud. What does that mean?" I feel like it's safe to say he's deliberately making it ambiguous. Oh, excuse me. Man, okay, my dinner comes back every time I burp. And as you haven't asked, Safa, my dinner was some chicken wraps I made. Cooked up some onion and mushroom. This is just a normal thing I do a lot of. Chicken and onion and mushroom, and I put this stir dried tomato. I think it's olive oil and sun dried tomato. And it was very tasty. It was really quite good. Chicken noodle soup, classic. What else did I watch this weekend though? Third Man. I think you would. I'd be interested, Charlie. I think you would like the Third Man, because I do think it holds up. But what else was, like I said, just looking through and just watched 28 Days Later, and geez, that film goes hard. Oh yes, no. Okay, so I watched the first episode of Slow Horses. Definitely going to watch some more. It's like Gary Oldman is in charge of the down on their luck MI5 agent's office. They're just at some shitty old building away from the real operatives. And they've all fucked up somehow. Like something's gone wrong for all of them. And so they're in like this purgatory. And just in the first episode, Gary Oldman's a piece of shit. But it's shaping up that, the people in this shitty office they call Slough House, it's shaping up they're actually going to uncover something important, even though they're not meant to. And the fact that it's gone for 5 seasons, I've just watched episode 1, season 1. I feel like, well, there's a lot of development to come, I think. So we'll definitely be watching some more of Slow Horses. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, Home for the Elderly. I couldn't conceive of there being any enforcement on the 4-year thing anymore. It would have been a licensing thing related to her movies. I mean, my God, when I was a kid before home rentals, you'd wait 10 years for a movie to come on TV. The movies that used to be on TV were shit. And it's funny, as you say, they had that rule so the film could take advantage of rentals, and all of the production companies have fucking forgot that. They got sold the idea they needed to be big on streaming, and so they're killing their cinema business. It's like fucking ridiculous. Like TV, broadcast TV was a license to print money, and they're destroying broadcast TV. A combination of jealousy, like Netflix was growing and doing huge business, and they wanted the money, uh, and gullibility, being sold absolute shite by tech bros. Like, yeah, do this and you make money. And all they're doing is setting money on fire. They're making the film business way less lucrative. They're making TV way less lucrative. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yes, Fidelity, I agree with you. Tron's probably on Disney by the end of November. We'll see. It's absolutely weird how they're destroying their own business model. And it's like none of them want to admit they shouldn't have a streaming service. It's just like fucking kill your. Let Netflix live and license your shows to it. And maybe Disney, because they've got millions behind them. And, Apple TV's like a vanity project. Prime is like a vanity project. Oh, what do I think of the new Plex layout? Well, at first I couldn't find where was it Twisted Metal had disappeared to, because it wasn't even showing up on my continue watching. But it wasn't like it was a hardship to work out that it was in newer TV shows. I was initially like, where the fuck is Twisted Metal? And then I remembered we'd had the discussion about the other what do we call them? Channels? Feeds? What do you call those? Categories? Smaller lots would be easier to find stuff, I guess. I mean, that makes good sense. Libraries. Okay, we're calling them libraries. That's actually a good word. Libraries. The other movie that was on TV today, straight after 28 Days Later, was World War Z, which I don't hate, but I always get a bit of a giggle out of the fact World War Z was a book, a very successful book, and it was the format of interviews with different people from around the world who survived the zombie war. And I think it was Spielberg's company bought the rights to it. And then they release a movie, World War Z, that has absolutely zero to do with the book. Like, there is no content from the book whatsoever in the movie. It's just like they paid to use a good name, World War Z. Did we have a World War Z question? What was it? I don't remember. I just remember fucking blitzing it on the movie trivia questions. Just fucking killing it. Oh, goodness me. Oh, God. I swear, I taste my dinner every time I do that. Does that make it a good value meal? I taste it again every time I do it? Okay, you don't remember the question. I don't remember the question either. So we're even on that front. Don't really remember any of the questions. I just remember fucking blitzing it. Yeah, I don't know why that was. They were just questions I knew the answers to. All right, I think lazy Sunday night, I might just do my standard and make myself an old-fashioned. Yeah, very pretty movie. I like the visuals, and conceptually, it was a very good idea for a Tron sequel, and that the stuff from the digital world comes into our world, because you had two movies where someone getting sucked into the digital world, and this one to bring the digital world into our world. That was a good idea, at least. Whether it was well executed or not. Another question. So making a clarified question. I was going to make videos tonight because I prepped some stuff. Then it's not ready, so. You know, I haven't made an old-fashioned with bourbon in ages. Let's do that. See what that's like. Do sugar syrup, sugar, oh honey, honey. And you get me wanting you. Ooh, ooh, honey. Sugar, sugar. Do. Okay, I think we'll do some aromatic bitters and some orange bitters. Oh, Gillian Anderson was ace. Okay, nice. All right, so generally infidelity. Concept was better, less boring. Someone's like having deja vu. They had the original Tron was an innovative concept with a great soundtrack, let down because the movie was boring. The Tron sequel was an innovative concept with a great soundtrack that was let down because the movie was actually boring. The new Tron movie is an innovative concept with a great soundtrack, but let down because the actual movie's boring. It's like, oh, that does sound like deja vu. Oh. Do. Daniel, hello. Oh, that's okay. You had technical problems. Oh, Windows 11 is going to give you grief. Yeah. I mean, like Friday nights is when I often just open things to people joining the stream because it's fun. The music. Okay. Well, from what I've heard of the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, very good. But also, I love the Daft Punk soundtrack from the second one. And it was kind of fun that Daft Punk were in it too, in the Tron world, with their robot heads on. It's like, I think Trent Reznor is older than me. Let's see. Trent Reznor. He is older than me. There you go. Not that I hold that against him, but I just mean he's still doing good banging music at 60. So go Trent. You swear one was Angel for Mezzanine. He might have sampled acts like Massive Attack or Mezzanine. I think it's funny they glossed over Tron Legacy. Yeah, it's like don't look. Don't look. Okay. That fucking kicks ass. Maybe that's why people like bourbon. It's good. Oh yeah, but we got to do hot takes. Got to do hot takes on movies. Okay, now I'm going to see if there's something I can do a hot take on. What have I seen recently, or what's a big thing? Oh, this is not my hot take. I don't even think it's a hot take. I think it's after you hear it or see it, it's an obvious take and it's a true take and whatnot. I saw this video on YouTube, guy saying he's basically saying it's interesting how often science fiction and fantasy stories are set in a world where nothing ever changes in a way that's just doesn't make sense. And, you know, fantasy you can kind of get away with because a lot of societies don't change, like pre-industrial societies don't change all that much in a thousand years. But sci-fi stuff where the technology never advances over centuries, and the most ridiculous one um, is definitely Dune, because the backstory of Dune was meant to be 10,000 years before the book Dune, and 10,000 years before Dune, they still had interstellar travel and the planet Arrakis and the Fremen and spice and whatnot. It's like it is not possible for your society to still be the same after 10,000 years. Like there was that prequel series and it was on HBO, I think. And it wasn't terrible, but it just took me out of it all the time because it's like, this can't be 10,000 years before the book Dune. It just can't be. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's like, and it's for me, it is so jarring. It was just always, it's not in the back of my mind. It was at the forefront of my mind. It's really fucking stupid to say this is 10,000 years before Dune. Okay, but you got a video game hot take. Sega shouldn't have brought out the Saturn and stuck with the 32X. Okay. I have never had Sega products, so I have no horse in that race. I have had Nintendo and PlayStation products. Never Xbox, never Sega, not even back into the day. Actually, you know what I've got in a drawer somewhere? A Sega Saturn that someone put on the nature strip one time, and I thought it kind of looked like it would work. And I picked it up and thought, might do something with this, or someone might want it or something. So I technically I have a Sega Saturn, but I've never plugged it in, and there's no games. Same feeling. Back in 94, Sega did a long presentation on the Saturn showing off gadgets and shit. Sony got up on stage and said $299, which was $100 less than the Saturn. Damn. You want the Saturn? What year did I find the Sega Saturn? I don't know, like 5 years ago. I'll pack. Oh, look, I have to find it. It's in a drawer somewhere. I'm sure it's still here. I think. Okay, done deal. You got to package it up. I got to find it. Oh, Nintendo Lunchbox. I did see that. That was so bizarre. Getting George Santos out of prison. It's wild. Although Here's the funny thing. I know who's got a long memory can remember back when Trump was running the first time, saying how popular he was. Like he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not lose any support, which fucking seems right, quite honestly. He with the I can do anything and no one's going to stop him. Oh, he's a criminal. He embezzled a lot of money. He was a Republican who committed a lot of financial crimes, and he got jailed. And Trump's just pardoned him for no reason. But see, okay, here's the thing that I think you can kind of make this in Trump's favor. That he's the whole "no one can touch me, I can do anything." See, he just keeps pardoning people all the time. Like he pardoned all the January and insurrectionists. He just keeps pardoning people who should be in fucking prison. And previous US presidents have very cynically waited until like their last day in office, and then they've pardoned a bunch of people because they didn't want any electoral blowback from pardoning their friends or people they owed or whatever, or sometimes just people who deserve to be pardoned. Trump's just gone, who's going to fucking stop me? My first year of term, I'm just going to pardon someone who was definitely a criminal, who was definitely correctly convicted for crimes that hurt people, just because he's my guy, It's fucking wild. Ability, to the Saturn game comment, you have every PAL game ever made. Nice. And you have all the Saturn games. Okay. I will dig out the Saturn for you. Yes, over there, Trump's taking donations to his museum. But again, he's just an outright criminal, abusing the power of the office to make millions. It's fucking wild. Okay, so being a Sega nut led you into being a Laserdisc guy. Okay. Nintendo Lunchbox, Tiger King still behind bars. Thought he was getting pardoned by Trump and had a limo waiting outside. Doe. Poor Tiger King. I love your quest. 4 years getting every Saturn game. Then got nearly the whole Mega CD collection. And then Dreamcast. Damn. Oh, god damn. That bourbon made a really good old fashioned. That was tasty as fuck. I made that a little bit sweeter than I make a lot of old fashions. Maybe that's it. I just need to acknowledge that I have a sweet tooth with old fashions and just nudge it a little bit. So a laser active is a Laserdisc Mega Drive. Wow. Okay, so you got a laser active just because it was a Sega thing, and then because you had a laser active, which does laser discs, you got into laser discs. Your laserdisc player that was built for arcades. $60 and local. Winning. Oh dear, who remembers Charlie Sheen's Crash and Burn? Oh, sorry, you still don't own the laser active, but you got a laser disc because the laser active existed. Okay. I get it. I'm with you now. Sorry. Just randomly remembered, I saw another video. It was a short on YouTube, someone who does sign language, and they were saying that there were several default signs for nationalities that were really racist that aren't used anymore. God, it was and they missed one that I knew actually, but they're going like for Indian, as in people from the subcontinent of India. It used to just be like that's the thing about the red dot on the forehead. for China or Chinese person. It was a very obvious racist one of, you know, doing the eyes. The best one was probably Germany, a German person or Germany, for a lot of the second half of the 20th century. The signing for German was this, as in a Hitler mustache. But I also know at one point, signing for Jewish was a thing's meant to be like hook nose, the old visual stereotype, anti-Semitic trope of Jews having hook noses. But it's wild how a whole bunch of original sign language from the mid 20th century is just racist as fuck. So when you got the Laserdisc player, the dude had a bunch of movies. Some of Us. Oh, two very good Australian movies. Some of Us and Proof. Both with Rusty in them. And Glory, the Civil War film. You got those two? Got you hooked on the movies? Got a Laser Active's like $2,000. Okay, so that's an in-demand item then. Okay. So I suppose I'm going to send you I'm assuming I'll find it. The Saturn. There's a better than even chance it doesn't work. There's a better than even chance I'm sending you a lump of plastic. I've never tried to make it work. So do you want me to go out and look now? Because I think I know where it is. I could go and have a quick look at, like, just for a minute or two. Okay, you want a Saturn with round buttons because yours have oval ones. Is that's on the controllers? I assume we're saying there. Because I can look. Failing that, remind me later in the week. Because I think I know where it is. And if it's not in the first place, I think it is. Oh, the power and reset buttons on the console. Okay. Well, now I'm intrigued. Now I want to do it. All right, I'm going to do it. You got me intrigued. I'm going to, if it takes me more than a minute, I'm just going to come back. But I'm going to really quickly. Hello, cutie. Who's having a shotgun wedding? Laura, my niece. Because she's pregnant? Yeah. Fair enough. No. Yes. Okay, I didn't find it straight away, so I came back. I think I will be able to find it without too much trouble, but I didn't find it straight away. Well, okay, I gotta look for it. Bit of a mineral water. So, anticlimax that I didn't actually find it straight away. What did I see? I saw PlayStation 2. Nintendo Wii. Might have seen the Wii U as well. Pour yourself a G&T. I mean, maybe I'll do a G&M, gin and mineral water. Do. In fact, maybe I will. Just got to decide which gin it would be. If I was gonna pour myself a gin and yuzu gin, that's probably the winner, honestly. My lily pilly gin that I made. It was actually boutique yuzu gin. Now I'll use up this little bottle actually. How much is in it? Perfect. I got another little bottle to put things in from the Stag Lane Distillery. I'm going to visit them in December. Going back to Healesville. Nintendo Lunchbox with a console collection. Sega Master System, NES, PS2, Wii, Switch, handhelds, Game Boy, Game Gear. Got them set up a retro game room with a CRT monitor. Nice! That's how it should be. We both said nice, and no one even said 69. But that does sound like a pretty sweet setup, quite honestly. Bit of agility. I'm a bit of a fan of what you're saying you've got there. It sounds good. Sounds like a quality setup. Ooh, Bone Dry. Archie Rose Bone Dry. Excellent gin and tonic selection. I went citrusy. I have a couple dry ones as an oyster shell gin, which is really good in either a martini or, a G&T type thing. But because my mineral water is citrusy, I was going, I'm going to go with a citrusy gin. And these folk grow their own yuzu, which is a difficult to find Japanese citrus. It's like very much like a lime, but different. We're going to have a squish of lime instead of lemon. Yes. So yeah, these folk, their distillery is on a bit of farmland basically, and they set the goal for their gins. They want to grow as many of the botanicals as possible. And yeah, and then they decided to grow yuzu trees, and they're all just starting to fruit enough that, they can make their yuzu gin. But they've got a lot of these yuzu trees, and yuzu fruit is quite expensive. Like 5 or 10 years, that could be a lucrative second business for them, actually selling the yuzu, because it's a darned expensive fruit. Should I say, and I'm going to end up a little more drunk than I was planning to be tonight, having this G&T for Gin and Tonic Day. But I'm not going into the office tomorrow. Normally, Monday and Tuesday are my office days. I'm not going in Monday and Tuesday this week. I'm going in Wednesday and Thursday because I'm involved in a cybersecurity emergency simulation thingy simulation exercise that I have to be in there in person for. Depending when it finishes, I might say to people, hey, who wants to go to a bar with me after work? Go to one or two of the cocktail rooms. And if you're like, your consoles, deep breath. In the bedroom, Mega Drive, Mega CD1, 32X, PS2. In the lounge, you've got a 3DO, SNES, NES, Saturn, and Dreamcast. In the back room, you've got the Amiga, a Sega, SC3000, and a PS3. Handheld, you've got Game Gear. I haven't had a working Game Boy in ages, but I was quite. I had like the original, like super chunky Game Boy. I love the folklore at the Nintendo factory because the Game Boy was a breakthrough. There'd been nothing like it before, and it's been out in the market for a year or so, and it's really successful. And the story goes, the boss came in and said, make it smaller. And the engineers are all like, boss, that's the smallest you can make it. That was our whole thing. We made it the smallest we could make it. And they'll say, okay. And he had a Game Boy and like a bucket of water. And he dropped the Game Boy in the bucket of water and then picked it out. And then it was draining water because there were empty spaces inside it that filled with water when it was in the bucket. And he picked it up and it's draining water. And he goes, if it can do this, it can be smaller. And yes, then they made it smaller. And then technology advanced and the Game Boy Color was smaller. Yes, I only do handheld games on the phone. Still obsessed with the Nervous King game. Play it way too much. Pattern matching. I think that's a sort of monkey brain thing. I think we evolved to have this impulse of matching patterns at certain periods in our history. We had to guess, wait, that shape, that series of colors, that's a predator in the long grass. We got to run. But these days, humans have quite a pronounced tendency to imagine patterns where there are no actual patterns. And I think that's where you get conspiracies. People are certain, no, that matches with that, which matches with that, which means something. And like, no, dude, there was no pattern there. It was just things that happened. You need to calm the fuck down. Like, what's the great one? I think the word is pareidolia. It's when you see faces in things. It's like there'd be a simple shape, and you go, "Oh, I see a face in that." Oh, son, hopefully older, you got a Game Boy that survived the Iraq War. Madam Butterfly, my favorite game system. I mean, just for the impact it had on me, probably the Nintendo 64. Oh, shit. Sorry, this is a hell of a picture. Game Boy that survived the Iraq War. It literally looks like it survived an IED, or it looks like it is an IED. It got burned. Takes a licking, keeps on ticking. Look at that. Still playing Tetris. And by jings, I was pretty obsessed with Tetris too. Back in the day. There were 2 points where you get a bonus animation if you reached a particular score. The lower one, it'd be a rocket which would launch. And at the higher one, it would be a bigger, more intricate rocket that launched. Then they made the Game Boy Micro. Last ever Game Boy. Yeah. Yeah, no one's... Well, every now and then someone tries to launch a handheld gaming thing, but how the fuck is a handheld gaming thing going to compete with a phone, quite honestly? Savvy Game Boy Advance survived a trip into the toilet. Oh, that's an occupational hazard. Oh, yeah, that just triggered something. I'm like, okay, old school YouTuber, Casey Neistat, however you pronounce it. Besides doing some novelty viral videos and whatnot, he's very tech focused. He does interesting things with tech, and he did one recently where he's talking about like the new wave of the smart glasses actually being good. But he said, look, revisiting at the time a couple of years ago when the first were they Sony Ray-Ban glasses or something, and the Apple VR goggles. He said the smart glasses were kind of shit, and the Apple VR goggles were the next big thing. They're amazing. And then he said years later, the Apple VR goggles just sit in a drawer and are never touched. I keep buying new versions of the glasses. And it's interesting. And then he really thought it through and did a breakdown, and it's all about practicality. And while there was super cool features in the VR headset, there was like no practicality. And whereas the glasses were somewhat uncool, there was masses of practicality, and they get more and more practical. Madam Butterfly, top 5 80s or 90s video games to play. The only console I had in the 90s was the Nintendo 64. So they're going to be all Nintendo 64 games. Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, absolutely fantastic game. Zelda Majora's Mask, also a very good game. Perfect Dark, a really good shooter. Everyone talks about the Bond one, GoldenEye. I never had it, so I don't know. So the SP was a model with a large backlit screen. Oh, is that the Game Boy Advance SP? Hello, Hannah, by the way. How are you? Nice to see you. Okay, PC game in the 90s. Probably my biggest PC game in the 90s. Okay. So it was a sort of cyberpunk mafia game. And it was an isometric, God view top down thing. And I can't remember what it's called, but I really fucking liked it. I feel like it had an SP, took it everywhere, but your backpack was on. Damn. Handy, you're a master of the first 10 minutes. Ocarina of Time. Brother would let you save a game, played the first 10 minutes over and over again. No. I played the whole thing through. In fact, there's a bit in the ending, and it's basically as the credits run, there's a bit in the ending that's really gut-wrenching and beautiful, because the credits overall are celebration, Link saved everyone. But then there's this shot of the Fish King guy and the little villager elf guy sitting together, both being sad because both of them had the most important person in the world to them taken, and they became one of these god things, but they're gone. Like the Fish King lost his daughter, and the guy from the little village where Link comes from lost his best friend. It was like fucking full on. It was such a gut punch, because you're going, celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Oh no, these guys lost the most important person in the world to them. And the Sierra games, I vaguely remember Sierra games, I think. Syndicate. This game was called Syndicate, and I know they tried to reboot it with a higher graphics version, maybe a PS2 or 3 game, and they fucked it, and no one liked it. And there was another computer game that I think was actually late 80s, and it was like an extremely violent sci-fi version of American football. It's called Blood Bowl or something. Please, Hannah, what is the most superior game? Everyone's having their 2 cents here. Sims. I literally never played Sims. Never once did I play Sims. I know, I've heard all the stories about putting them in the pool and removing the ladder. Sophie loves Sims. There was a very funny series of memes where Sims questions, like from chat groups, Sims chat group questions taken out of context sound terrible. Madam Butterfly, your nephew was young, gave him a Nintendo DS for an Easter present. You're a good aunt. Hannah, angry is well-adjusted and not a total psychopath. I just never played Sims. You say I'm a psychopath. Have you watched me play Red Dead when I just see how many cop bodies I can pile up? No, never did Wordle. Like, never. I've probably done it at least once or twice, or maybe a Wordle clone. FWF Sims, but don't play it much. Play a game and forget it. Yeah, I haven't been gaming at all much lately, apart from like mobile games on my phone. You love the games Police Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry. I played some Leisure Suit Larry. I remember Police Quest and Space Quest. I don't think I played them. There were some Star Wars games I really liked. Dark Forces, X-Wing and TIE Fighter. Although I have one of the more recent ones. It's 10 years old, I think. I got it, cheap on Humble Bundle or something. I can't fucking do flying games, these things. Like, when you're on the ground and it's like left, right, up, down, I'm fine. But when you're flying and it's like, whoa, and you've got to use different, but I'm so bad at it. And I literally played the more recent X-Wing versus TIE Fighter from about 10 years ago. And I played it on easy, and it's like, oh, I'm fucked. I cannot do this. And Vito, you like The Crew too. Driving games like therapy because you can't drive, and it's open world, lets you drive all around America. Nice. Earth, you had pirated Duke Nukem 3D. Duke Nukem 3D was not bad. I got given a copy of Duke Nukem Forever, which took forever to come out, and wasn't very. It just wasn't good. Like, I started playing it and came, this is shite. I'm not playing this. Honey, you've been hyper fixating on crochet. Haven't been doing anything else. That's a lie. Haven't been reading as many books, but you've definitely been buying as many books. But that's a normal book person thing to do. People, I think, would find this very difficult to believe. I buy way more alcohol than I drink. I buy it compulsively. I just barely restrained myself from getting another superfluous bottle of whiskey because it was on clearance at Dan. I bought one of them. It was a single malt from a Sydney distillery that's normally over $100, and Dan's were selling it for $55. And I was like, well, that's a single malt from a good distillery at cheaper than shite blended whiskies. And I did get one, and I was there. Oh God, they've got more bottles of it. It's so cheap. Just don't. I got some stuff I needed. My other hot tip, which I think is on clearance in Dan's if you need one, and I've said this before, is these fruity flavored spiced rums. They're not great drinking on their own, but they can be a potentially good mixer because they're really strong and you only need a little bit of them. Yeah, GTA 5, you probably mean, which I really like. Yeah. Like, I'm probably going to get a PlayStation 5 in the Black Friday sales if I can get a good deal. Ready for GTA 6 next year. And that's how you justify buying books. It's cheaper. Oh, yeah, you get them good at work. Yes. Okay, but I've had that conversation with booze, because all of the bottle shops, the Coles, the Woolies, the Dans, they do stuff with what they call clearance. It's basically it's stuff they're not going to stock anymore, and they want the shelf space. So, and they don't advertise these clearance specials. They just do them in store. And in fact, it'll be on clearance in one store and not in another one because the stores are making individual decisions. But they'll have good quality booze at a third off or more. And there's people in a Woolies bottle shop in the QV building in the city. They were fun as well. I was looking at the markdowns. I was going like, oh, shite. Look at that markdown. Oh, shite. Look at that. And I was going, look at that. Look, yeah, like that's $50 off. And they go, yeah, if you don't buy it, you're throwing money away. Then, yeah, you got one at work for $14. That's $26. Why wouldn't you get it? Definitely. And then you get your rewards dollars, so you get even more discount. Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely do it. I am kind of sticking with audiobooks lately. I got into audiobooks a couple of years ago, and because I can listen to them and do stuff. So, like when I'm cleaning and stuff, or when I'm on public transport, I did used to read books on public transport, but you can't read books while you're cleaning or doing stuff. So I've gotten really into audiobooks, and you get some quite good performances, like people doing all the voices. Of course, when they're ethnic, it's pretty funny because you're going like, I still haven't seen someone cause a scene online about people reading audiobooks doing ethnic voices is racist, but it must be going to happen, honestly. Mad Butterfly, you spoiled your oldest nephew at 6 different game consoles. That is spoiled. I never had 6 different game consoles. Hannah, you get too distracted with audiobooks, don't pay attention. Yeah, that's why if I'm really into it, I re-listen to them another time. I'm very conscious I'm probably only taking in half of the audiobook. So particularly non-fiction, because I mix it up. I'm trying to be an intellectual, do some interesting non-fiction along with fiction. And yeah, the last time I re-listened to a particularly good non-fiction I was like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot most of this. This is great. This is like listening to a new audiobook, even though I've listened to this before. And then maybe you're conditioned because of the store radio. Yes. And if you letter, you got a new restaurants open up near you. One of the items is Story Trump Taco. Oof. Ooh, what's the sauce on a Ron Jeremy burger? Fish and chips is called Nemo and chips. That's fun. I think I'd order the Ron Jeremy burger. I'm assuming it's got extra meat, but I'd ask for no special sauce, thank you. Stormy Trump tacos. Is there something orange in them? Is there mushrooms in them? If it's a Stormy Trump taco, there should be mushrooms in them. Madam Butterfly, when you're a kid, for some reason, never liked fiction books, always non-fiction. To each their own, I say. Hopefully, Aussie farm beef patty, malted American cheese, bacon sliced beetroot. So, yeah, aioli. Is that the Ron Jeremy thing with aioli in it? So I'm suspicious of their aioli. And you want to read The Outback Astronomer. Aussie dude built an observatory in his backyard. Shit from his shed. Ended up recording a storm on set for NASA. Oh my God. Don't you love stories? I love stories like that. That's freaking awesome. Oh, nice. A Royale with cheese on this place. I'm going to go through a look. Thought-provoking non-fiction from my collection. Let me bring it up. And I'll tell you my absolute top pick, but there's a few interesting ones. Just, oh God, what the fuck? Okay. I did recently listen to a memoir of someone who was at Facebook and tells all the stories about what assholes they are, careless people. Naomi Klein's Doppelganger was interesting, but my number one non-fiction book, The Dawn of Everything by David Graeber and David Wengrow. Holy shit, that is some thought-provoking shit in there. I've got a couple by Yuval Noah Harari. What have I got? Nexus, which is about data. Sapiens. And the funny thing is, I like the Yuval Noah Harari books. They're very philosophical, but David Graeber and David Wengrow in The Dawn of Everything rip into Yuval Noah Harari quite often, basically saying that is some airy-fairy bullshit that guy writes. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Because I swear, when I'm listening to non-fiction, particularly non-fiction from very smart people, what I like is when I disagree with something they say, and like, okay, I still have my critical faculties in place. I'm not just being switched on. Yes, well, audiobooks, Hannah, I have listened to Nexus. And Nexus is interesting because it's talking about data, information, and cyber security and AI, which is my field. And I actually think Yuval Noah Harari makes some fundamental mistakes, particularly when he discusses artificial intelligence. I think he makes some really baseline mistakes, but he's still very interesting. FW bought a CD, Bikini Kill. Wow, that's old school. Pussy Whipped. Red Eye Records, they're old school. I used to go into Red Eye back in the like 80s, early 90s when they're selling vinyl. Hannah, points for Hannah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. You suggested it when I was reading Sapien. Yes. And I did get it and I did like it. But like, I'm not mad at the writer that I disagreed and I think he was making some incorrect calls on it. I actually appreciate it because I think he's intelligent, insightful, and thoughtful. But it kind of helps me when I hear things from that and I go, I think you're making a fundamental mistake there. Not saying I'm smarter than you because I think he's smarter than me. But smart people aren't flawless is the big thing. And it's like I still have my critical thinking faculties in place. Which you think makes you love it more? I mean, he's a good writer. I like his stuff. It was very interesting. The book I like more. That one of the things I didn't remember about The Dawn of Everything is how often they rip on Yuval Noah Harari. Where they're just going, "That's bullshit, dude. That you just made that up. There's nothing to support what you just said. It's bullshit." I've forgotten how much they ripped on Yuval Noah Harari. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I think I've got a couple of other. What other interesting non-fiction do I have? I mean, fiction, the ones I have, man, the Expanse books are so good. Naomi Novik's Dragon books are good. It's like 10 in the series. I've listened to all of them. What is it? Oh, they have some. If you've got a Audible membership, they have some academic lectures that are free, which I get, and that was really interesting. Human prehistory and the first civilizations, great mythologies of the world. What was another one? I'm sure there's another one like Roman Empire or something. Man, I have last couple of years I've listened to a lot of audiobooks. Sometimes I listen to the free ones, particularly crime ones. I never listen to crime things, but occasionally there'll be a free one that seems okay. Like, oh God, I got Project Hail Mary for free, Andy Weir's book, which is coming out in a movie. The book was really good. This is the guy who wrote The Martian. And I think the movie The Martian was really good. I haven't read the book or listened to an audiobook. Project Hail Mary was really good. Movie's coming out sometime soon. Oh, Gabor Mate. Okay, he's good. The Myth of Normal. He's a psychologist. He gets heavily into the woo stuff sometimes, but again, he's very intelligent and he's a really compassionate, thoughtful person. He gets a bit into the woo, like occasionally he says stuff that's actually quite stupid. But he's a thoughtful, insightful, compassionate person. So I'm giving him a lot of leeway because of that. Oh, and I got Dark Emo by Bruce Pascoe. I'm still a fan of that, honestly. Bruce Pascoe wound up so many people with his analysis of diary entries and what stuff from early colonizers. He upset all the people that deserve to be upset, basically. Hannah, you're going to tell me why you hate your favorite book in a second. Gonna go back and lock up at the house. Okay, I like that. Was like, I hate my favorite author because he's a serial groomer and predator. Neil fucking Gaiman, you piece of shit. Since the 90s, he was my favorite writer. I was so into his stuff. I met him once at a New Year's Eve rave was it in Sydney or Melbourne? It was in Melbourne. There's videos of it on my YouTube channel, probably on Less Angry Aussie. Favorite author since the 90s, and then it came out a couple years ago. He's a serial predator, groomer, and just like really bad. Not just he abused his position of influence and authority to score. He's like a horrible, abusive groomer and predator. Just the fucking worst. Like, I'll throw in another one, a comic book writer I like, Warren Ellis, who it came out definitely abused his position to just shag lots of women, but he wasn't a groomer or a predator like Neil Gaiman. I mean, he was a liar, and he definitely just banged, not just banging groupies, but kind of very strongly suggesting younger women writers might benefit from banging him. So it was an abuse of his position of power, and it was not cool. It was not good behavior, but it definitely wasn't criminal or predatory or, well, emotionally abusive, I guess. But it's just like he was just a jerk, you know. He was just a jerk. Whereas, seriously, Neil Gaiman will never be charged, let alone convicted with anything, but he fucking should be, honestly. So very, very angry at my favorite author for turning out to be such a piece of shit. God damn it all to hell. Ugh. And just when we were getting good adaptations of his work, like The Sandman on fucking Netflix, like that was shaping up to be a multi-season extravaganza and really enjoying it. And then everyone was just like, yeah, I don't think we want to work with or promote Neil Gaiman anymore. We're just going to finish what we're doing with the Sandman. Fuck it all. Kind of like I was into Diantwoord's music, and apparently they're really abusive. I don't know. It's just like seems like people who get positions of influence, cultural power, use that to fucking exploit other people. Very depressing, honestly. How fucked people are. I mean, from a certain perspective, I'm quite naive. Like, I expect people to be nice. Again, despite all my persona and all the carrying on thing, my default position in the world is expecting people to be nice, to do good things. And it's just like, God damn. Also, hopefully they'll do Earth W talking about best song on Pussy Whipped. Earth W is just getting into it. Anthony Elderly says Rebel Girl. So I think, can we put that on Jukebox on the Discord? Is there like a video for it on YouTube? Also, did I thank you, Charlie, for putting up the 67 created Christmas cocktails? I might do some of them because, okay, I made eggnog today. Madam Butterfly, you're nice, a bit bipolar, but nice. That's all thing. So, and I was going to record the talky bit for that about how I made the eggnog. And put that video to go live in a week or two, late October or early November. And say people should do it 2 months before Christmas. And when Christmas stuff is out, like supermarket eggnog and supermarket Christmas custard, I'm going to use those to do some clarified cocktails as well, which I have done before, but I'm going to do it again because no one can stop me. Oh, you did put Bikini Kill Rebel Girl on there. Nice. Well, I will listen to that tomorrow. I won't get content matched here. I don't want to get content matched. So I will watch that offline tomorrow. Oh, and besides friggin' eggnog, I was making a clarified amaretto sour, which was being a complete bastard with being cloudy. So I feel like I'm gonna leave that overnight. It is still dripping through. I put it through a couple times because it was coming through clear. Every now and then when I do clarified cocktails, they just fuck up on me for no apparent reason. So this is one of those times. It's giving me a bit of a hard time. So there's always custard in the supermarket, but I want Christmas custard, like rum flavored Christmas custard, or Christmas pud flavored custard. I want a Christmas flavored custard that I can do something with. Oh yes, nice. And you put your favorite song from the Neutron CD. Nice. I shall listen to both of those tomorrow. So yeah, supermarket eggnog usually doesn't appear before December, but who knows when I love it when it appears in December because then I get to do the Homer Simpson line. Marge, then they give us 30 sweet noggy days till the government takes it away from us again. But I make my own eggnog, so the government can't take it away from me. Made about 2 liters of eggnog today. And even though it's for aging, and it definitely tastes better after aging, it's pretty fucking good straight after being made. Sorry, every time I turn around in my chair, you laugh. I know what happened. I no. Wait, what are we making into a GIF? I'm confused. It's like it's an in joke that I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I like the shirt too. Psychedelic cat doing psychedelic brews. No, I don't remember on Friday. Don't hint, just tell me explicitly what you're talking about. I am confused. I have lost the thread. Oh, when I fell out of my chair. Okay. I thought I'd done something now. What did I do now? I mean, you know, I blame the chair. I think the chair was at fault. I, I don't think I did anything wrong. I think the chair was faulty. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ugh. Oh, damn. Was just thinking, I was just thinking about my eggnog I made today. I put a bit of, I was emptying a couple of things to put in. Like, I always follow the Alton Brown thing that you put gin, not gin, the brown spirits, whiskey, rum, and brandy. And I thought I have a little bit of this brown creme de cacao left. I'm chucking that in too. Or you seeing good photos from the No Kings March, as the right wing call it? I hate America. No, it's literally, when you think about it, it's I love America. America was formed on the rejection of the idea of a king, um, and it's so funny when you get these low rent right wingers who they really love the idea of fascism because they think they do really well in fascism. It's like, you worthless inbred scumbags are the ones who get ground into a paste in the gears of fascism. Like, yes, everyone you hate, the minorities, the women, the uppities, and whatnot, they get directly attacked by the fascist machine. But worthless pond scum trolls like you just get ground into a paste by the fascist machine that doesn't care for you at all. It's quite ridiculous, the sort of pond scum who think they're going to do really well under fascism. And it's like, dude, the fascists would just fuck you. Oh, sorry. I saw you posted a picture. Someone had a protest sign for the No Kings March. Uh, you sucked in Home Alone too. That's pretty funny, actually. You got to love that. That's that's a sweet callback. Yeah, it's very weird to see what's happening in the US. It's extremely strange. Oh, is Mrs. Angry going? Busy? Right. SW baby boomers aged women walk through Palestine group in Sydney wearing Trump shirts. Must be all the lead they hate. Yeah, lead paint. If Kamala were president, we'd be at brunch. Yeah, no, that I actively disliked Kamala Harris. Is like she just didn't offer anything concrete. It's like, joke, we'd be at brunch. It's just like, yeah, if Kamala Harris had been, you'd be comfortably middle class. I'm more excited by people who at least have the potential to shake things up. Like, oh my God, the New York mayoral race with Mamdan. God, now I'm forgetting his name. But it was very funny, the debate they had, that his competitors just looked weak as piss. And I will probably forever cherish Hassan's girlish shriek of laughter when fucking Cuomo goes, "Why won't you denounce Hassan Piker?" And he just shrieked with laughter because it's so funny and so stupid. Cuomo is bringing him up by name. It was absolutely ridiculous. Oh wow, okay. It's too complicated to put them up here, but you all should check out the pictures that Home Fidelity's putting on the Discord about the No Kings rally. Very, very, very. There's a joke about that, Madam Butterfly, left wing, right wing, legs. There's like a bunch of people around for a roast dinner, and and sometimes it's kids, sometimes it's adults, but it's like this woman has cooked this roast, and she's got the roast chicken there, and it's saying, I'm divvying it up based on what football team you support. And it's like, Mike, what do you support? He goes, I support East Ham. He goes, okay, well, I'm giving you the left leg. And Roger, who do you support? He goes, I support West Ham. And she goes, okay, I'm giving you the right leg. And Tony, who do you support? And he said, I support Arsenal, and I'm not hungry. Thank you. Oh, were those all on Reddit? Have the elderly. Nice. Oof. Crazy times in the US. But I do kind of side with people like, hey, if you ever wondered what you would be like in pre-World War II Germany facing the rise of the Nazis, if you're in America today, it's what you're doing. That's the answer to your question. What would have you done in Germany at the rise of the Nazis? Whatever you're doing with Trump now. Where are we? It's coming up to 10 o'clock. That's a good. Why haven't I put this away yet? My expensive and strong whiskey. 58%, not my strongest whiskey. My strongest commercially released whiskey is 66.7% alcohol, single malt from Texas, which is actually just here. I put it in the clarified cocktail I'm making. Maybe I should do a taste. I should do a taste test. Not tonight, because I'll lose consciousness if I do it tonight. Later in the week, maybe even try and do a blind taste test of my high proof whiskies. Decide which one I like the most. So if you want breathalyzer, well, A, I don't think it works very well. B, I will do it. Madam Butterfly wants to be adopted to escape the US. I mean, can understand that. Come on. I suppose it's a calibrating thing it does, but like a fast countdown from 100 takes about 20 seconds to do. Okay. .01. I think that might be a bit low, quite honestly. Like, I would not drive a car again because I'm not Tim Smith. I am not a self-absorbed antisocial piece of shit. I would not drive a car at the moment. What did I drink? I actually probably am under 05, but I wouldn't do it. Fart the breathalyzer test. I mean, I don't think I can fart long enough to make the breathalyzer work. Otherwise, I'd do it. See you Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday is likely to be the next stream with an asterisk because I am at this fucking cyber incident simulation exercise on Wednesday. I don't know how tired I'm going to be on Wednesday and Thursday for that matter. So Wednesday and Thursday streams both have an asterisk next to them at the moment. They may or may not happen. Bowing 5 minutes early, which is fair. I mean, I might too. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think I always do put a little bit of this liqueur in here to put some flavour in the orange peel for Mrs. Angry's hot chocolate. Yeah, if I'm tired, I'll post on Discord if I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm also wondering, my blood orange liqueur, the overflow, because I made a big batch, but I've used a bit of it. Can I? Well, wasn't that a good noise? Can I fill the bottle up? Let's. How steady am I? The Crystal Head vodka has a pretty big opening, like your mum. Just like your mum, the Crystal Head vodka has a pretty big hole that I can dump my load into. But that looks very good, and that filled that up, so that's good. I just cannot resist making your mum jokes. I think your mum jokes are inherently funny. If someone says something that just gives you an opening to go like your mum, you have to do it. Emptied my load into the big hole, just like I do with your mum. I wish I'd get another troll because I do remember deeply upsetting one troll who came in, and their big insight that they thought would upset me was saying I was fat. And I was like, well, it's not my fault I'm fat. Every time I let your mum suck my dick, she makes me a cake. And they got really upset. It was just like the most basic your mum joke. And they got super upset, which, okay, because it's not a particularly funny joke, but it was very funny when they got upset. Hannah, back at the last minute because you were locking up and it took longer than expected. You were going to tell me why you hated your favorite book or something like that? Which was definitely an interesting premise. You had me hooked. Hannah, it is slightly more difficult for women to make your mum jokes. That is true. Yeah, I got my double cherries. SW had a Trump troll trying to tell you with, you know what I'm saying? It is super weird when they say something about your physical appearance and you're like, do you think I don't have mirrors? Is that what you think is happening here? I always had fun when the trolls tried to insult me by saying something about my age as a negative, but the age they would give would be 10 years less than my actual age. Hannah, all you have to do is tell them you'll call their dad and give them a child they can be proud of. That is a very good alternative for a woman to take. I like that. Okay, so I'm about to retire and go sleepy bobos. Hannah, were you going to tell me something about why your favorite book, why you hate your favorite book? A woman has a mental breakdown and is told point of view of a husband talking to a psychiatrist about his wife's life. Good Lord. Okay. Can you tell me a bit more? All the reasons she's been treated as a second-class citizen because she's a woman in every aspect of her life. Yeah. So it's two men discussing the hardships of a woman. Oof. Okay. Yes. No, I get what you're saying there. It just made me think of something else. Did I not have Anna Spargo Ryan books in here? I do. A Kind of Magic by Anna Spargo Ryan. Okay. Just thought this is a woman, an Australian writer who has coped with quite extreme mental illness and written about it beautifully. But yeah, it's not fucking subtle mental illness. She's had quite extreme problems with mental health, like psychosis, not ADHD, not autism, not anxiety. She's had psychosis. So yeah. So he said on the last page, the doctor's like, wow, maybe I hadn't considered how shitty we treat women. And he's had a light bulb moment. Last 2 pages, him basically going, my receptionist is leaving because she's pregnant and now useless in the workforce. That's just, oh God. Okay, so it's like, Hannah, are we giving them one of those misshapen gold stars that goes, you tried? It's like, oof, swing and a miss. Like I felt like you were getting close, and then no. Good book, but it let you down right at and again, it's slightly surreal that it lets you down right at the end, last 2 pages. Oof. You hate it for the right reasons. You like it and you hate it, but both are for the right reasons. That's good. That was worth waiting for. I really quite liked that review, Hannah. Thank you. But I am going to go to bed now. So all you fine and funky folk, take care of yourself. Hopefully see you again sometime soon. My regular schedule would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. I don't know for sure if I'll do that because of other things. So look out for the alerts or me posting something on Discord, whatever works for you. We'll see you all another time. Did I have mineral? Look, whole empty can of mineral water, Sava. But I'm going to go to bed now, so bye for now. Bye.
You are totally fucked!